we are going to be learning how to bank a chosen income per month. And what we're going to be using is a calculator that I created for my multi traders so that you can adapt the certain numbers into the calculator to see what you need in order to bank a chosen income. The best way to start is to look at the stats. So before we need to know how much money we need to bank certain income, we need to understand the statistics and metrics of our trading system and strategy that we know works and has been proven. The only thing that I can use is for my Supreme multi-traders, we send out a track record. So you can see since the 9th of July, we have banked 16 winning trades in a row, which has been amazing for the portfolio. It's definitely at all-time highs if you have been following the strategy very carefully. So now what you do is you say, all right, so does that mean you're going to have 100% win rate all the time? And the answer is no, because the markets go up, we profit, the markets go down, we profit, and the markets go sideways, where we manage our risk. We need to apply money management rules, and we need to take in small losses when the market is not in our favor. And then once it breaks into a favorable environment, then we go into a winning streak again. So over time, this is what you will be seeing more and more. However, since we've adapted high probability trades into the system more, we have been banking way more winners than what has shown in the past. So I do expect that to continue because we are constantly optimizing and making an efficient strategy for our future. All right. So here are the daily stats that we send out every week. And if we go here, you'll see that this is the statistics journal that basically compartmentalizes the monthly stats and metrics over each month. So we have from April 2023 up until July 2024. I have not incorporated August just yet because I like to wait for an entire month before I put those metrics into it, okay? As much as I would love to put the winners and the no losers into August right now, I need to keep with the rules. And the rules say at the end of the month, you can pop in those metrics. So which means that we have had now statistics and back-tested results and forward-tested results for the last 16 months, okay? So it's not even been a year, it's been 16 months. So now if we drop it down here, you can see the complete statistics from April 2023 to July 2024, and these are high probability trades. So the total number of trades is 204, the number of winners is 125, the number of losses is 71, the win rate is 61%, okay? If the win rate continues as it is in August and September, then we're going to see that win rate go up. The biggest winner was 1,110 points. The longest set of winners was 10, but we have made up for that now, and we have passed 10 to 16 winning trades. The biggest losing points is 541. The longest set of losers is 3. All right, so we have the average profit and loss, including costs, at 4,324 Rand because we're dealing with points and with the system. So now what I do is that the number of total trades that you have, if you want to know what the average is per month, you need to divide it by the number of months that you've tested it. So with the total number of trades, we have 204 trades. So if you divide that by 16 months, it means that we take an average of 12 trades a month. We bank 7.81 winners a month. We take 4.43 losses a month, and our win rate is proven to be 61.27%. The average trade yields, including winners and losses, 339 points. So if you take the winners and the losses and you average them out, the average gain is 339 points, which means we have a profitable system. So now that we know the stats, Here it is. This is what I'm sending to you. And this is what we are going to go through. The monthly income calculator. This is what you're going to get. This is what you can apply. And this is where you can find out what you can bank per month based on how much you need in your trading portfolio. So let's start off with asking you, how much do you want to bank a month? 8,000 Rand a month, 50,000 Rand a month, 50,000 Rand, 20,000 Rand, 50,000 Rand. Okay, so those are decent numbers. Can anybody give me a smaller number that they want to bank a month? Remember, with trading, it's about compounding. So even if you say I want to bank 5,000 Rand a month, then that is based on your current portfolio. And as your portfolio grows, you will want to bank a higher portfolio. And in one of the events that I'm going to be doing for Supreme Multi Traders is that we're going to be doing a compounding event. So we have 10,000, 3,000, 5,000, 10,000, 16,000 expectation, which is perfectly fine. There is no ego, there is no greed, and there is no fear for multi-traders. Everybody is equal. Whether one person is banking R1,000,000 a month or another person is banking 3,000 Rand a month, we are all equals. And why is that? Because we are all on our own path to our trading fortunes. And the race is nobody else but ourselves. Okay? So do not compare to anybody. Do not compare to me. Do not compare to any of your fellow members. Just compare to you and do better for you. So let's start off with 3,000 Rand a month. So the calculator is very easy. The variables are blue, which means that you put in and type in the values that you see are blue. Everything else will calculate for you. So how much money can you expect to bank a month? We're going to start with 3,000 Rand. So what is the gain percentage per winning trade? Let's start with what is the loss percentage per losing trade. Because whenever I say, how much are you willing to risk per trade, I'm always talking about the percentage rather than the actual value. So the loss percentage per losing trade, let's start off with the generic version of 2% risk per trade. And the gain percentage per winning trade, let's put our 4% per winning trade. Now, why is it 4%? Because I always send out trade ideas based on a risk to reward of 1 to 2. You risk 1 to make 2. You risk 2% to make 4%. So then we say, what are the number of winning trades that we can expect per month? So I'm not going to suck this out of my thumb. I'm going to be using the stats from those 16 months that we've back, forward, and real tested the JSE Top 40 with Supreme Multi Traders. And the answer is 7.81 number of winning trades a month. Now, I do know that there is no such thing as a 0.8 trade. Okay, but if you want complete accuracy, I've included the decimals for you. So you can round it up to 8, you can drop it down to 7, completely up to you, but for accuracy's sake, I do want to include the decimals. So the number of winning trades a month is 7.81. The number of losing trades a month is 4.43. What is the amount needed in your trading account? And this is the answer that you need. So the amount needed in your trading account to bank 3,000 Rand per month is 13,404 Rand and 83 cents. So with 2% loss and a 4% gain, you're actually expecting to make 22.38%. And everybody has 13,000 Rand to trade. So everybody should be banking a minimum of 3,000 plus a month. Let's carry on with the calculation. So the amount needed in your trading account is 13,404 Rand and 83 cents. So let's carry on with the gain per winning trade. Whenever we're now looking at the gain per winning trade or the loss per losing trade, we are now using the percentage that we're willing to make and the percentage that we're willing to take a loss in comparison to the portfolio amount that's needed. So if we double click on this, basically we're saying to work out the gain per winning trade, we are taking the amount needed in our trading account and we are multiplying it by the 4% that we will win. 13,404.83 times that by 4% gives you 536 Rand and 19 cents. So that is the gain that we are going to be making with this trade if our reward is 4% gain over our portfolio. Then the loss per losing trade is doing the same, where you're taking the amount in your trading account and you're timesing that by that 2% that you were willing to risk. So in that case, it is 268 Rand and 10 cents. And to prove it, we have over here where it is dividing the 268 Rand and 10 cents by the amount in your trading account. So that tells you that you're willing to lose 2% or 268 Rand and 10 cents. With the gain per winning trade, we know that it is 536 Rand and 19 cents divided by 13,404 Rand and 83 cents. Okay? So that's proven. Then we say, then what is our monthly gain going to be? Well, now you are taking the gain per winning trade and you're timesing that by the number of winning trades a month. Why is that? Because we know what the gain is going to be with our portfolio. We know how many winning trades we can expect to take according to the past statistics. So we are simply saying the gain per winning trade times that by the number of winning trades a month. Let's carry on. The monthly loss. So we are taking the loss per losing trade and we are timesing that by the number of losing trades that we can expect a month, and that is 1,187.67 loss. So if we subtract those two, where we're going to be making a gain minus the loss, we are going to be banking our 3,000 Rand income per month. We want to work out what percentage are we going to make of our portfolio with the winners and the losers, and then we're going to subtract it to see what we can expect to gain per month. It sounds a bit like a mouthful, but it's very easy. Here are the number of winning trades a month. Here is the gain percentage per winning trade. So all you do is you multiply the gain percentage per winning trade times that by the number of winning trades per month, and that gives you a gain of 31.28%. We can then do the same with the number of losing trades and the loss percentage per month. So we're taking the loss percentage per losing trade, timesing that by the number of losing trades a month, and we get 8.86% loss. Then we simply take the number of the winning percentage per month and we subtract it by the loss percentage per month. And basically we are saying that we are expecting to gain 22.38% per month. Then to work out the amount needed in your trading account, you're simply going to be dividing the money that you expect to make a month, divide that by this percentage. So the winning percentage minus the loss percentage, you're taking 3,000 Rand and you're dividing it by 22.38%. And that is the amount that you need in your trading portfolio. The calculations are done for you, but I've done this for you just so you can understand the maths behind it. So now we can speed up and we can play around with the numbers, okay? What if we use the Supreme Multi-Trader metrics? And that is, we are expecting to lose, let's start with 1% per trade to make 2% per trade. Now you need 26,809 Rand and 65 cents to make 3,000 Rand a month. If we drop it further to say that the loss percentage per losing trade is 0.5% and the gain percentage is 1%, so once again it's a risk to reward of 1 to 2, then the amount needed in your trading account is 53,619 Rand and 30 cents to make 3,000 Rand a month. So now, here's where it might boggle your head at first. Have you noticed that when I went from 2%, where the loss was 2% to make 4%, we needed 13,404 Rand. And then if we risk less of 0.5% per trade to make 1%, the amount needed in your trading portfolio skyrockets. Why is that? And you'll be banking 5.6%. So what happened? Well, the loss percentage per losing trade has dropped significantly. The gain percentage per winning trade has also dropped to 1%. And so the amount needed in your trading account is 53,619 Rand and 30 cents. Just because the loss percentage has dropped does not mean that the loss potential with the portfolio has dropped. So you are going to be risking more in order to make that 3,000 Rand a month. I'm going to say that again. When you drop the loss percentage per losing trade from 2%, 1%, 0.5%, you need more money to make up for that percentage to bank that expected amount per month. Let's go further and bring it back to 2% and 4%, because many Supreme members are still following the 2% and 4% rule because they're only trading the JSE Top 40 on a certain account with Harenya, for example, with Velocity Trader, for example, and that's perfectly fine. You can risk 2% to make 4%, okay? And what I would suggest, if it was me, is that the bigger the portfolio, the lower the loss percentage per winning trade. If your portfolio is low, then you can stick to that 2% to 4% and then get to know your personality and risk profile when you are trading it. If you want to make 10,000 Rand a month, then the gain percentage per winning trade is 4%. The loss percentage per losing trade is 2%. The number of winning trades a month stays 7.81. The number of losing trades a month stays at 4.43 trades. So the amount needed in your trading account in order to bank that 10,000 Rand a month is 44,682 Rand and 75 cents. And once again, you're going to be banking that 22.38%. If we drop it down to multi-trader standards, we are willing to lose 1% to make 2%. Now you need 89,365 Rand and 50 cents to make that 10,000 Rand, to risk 1% to make 2%. And you'll be banking 11.19%. If we drop it down further to 0.5% and 1%, now you're going to be banking your 5.6% per month, which I think is still very decent for any investment. I mean, you are basically your own portfolio manager with this. You're not holding baskets of bonds and indices and ETFs and ECFDs and you're talking with fundamentals. You're literally just trading the JSE Top 40 and it's building your wealth on a consistent basis, on a logical basis. You don't have to ask questions. You don't need to report to anyone. You are your own portfolio manager. It's amazing. So to bank your 10,000 Rand a month with 0.5% loss and a 1% gain, you need 178,731 Rand and 1 cent, okay? Which I think is perfectly decent, because in this day and age, you are spending 600,000 Rand to 1.4 million Rand on a car that is losing value, that is going through depreciation. You're spending money non-stop on so many things other than your own investments. So, and your money is safely kept. You're following a trading strategy. Velocity Trader with Harenya is perfectly safe. I mean, the money doesn't even go into Harenya, it doesn't even go into Velocity. It actually goes to major banks with major insurances. So it is perfectly safe and you're working on your own investments. So I honestly think that this is the safest thing we can do to build our wealth on a consistent basis. And when we do hit those drawdowns, we know how to manage them. We know when to hold trading. We know how to do everything. So I wouldn't worry about any of that. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the process. You guys are going to do very well. So that is how to bank 10,000 Rand a month. And you're going to be needing 178,731 Rand. Let's pump that up. So the gain percentage, let's go to 50,000 Rand a month. Now it's starting to pick up a little bit. So the loss percentage per losing trade is 2%. The gain percentage per winning trade is 4%. The number of winning trades a month stays 7.81 trades. Number of losing trades a month stays at 4.43. And you want to make 50,000 Rand, which means you need 223,413 Rand and 76 cents to bank using that 2% rule. If we drop it down to multi-trader standards, you now need 893,655 Rand to make 50,000 Rand a month with 0.50% loss per trade and a 1% gain per trade. Still very decent, still very doable. And if we want to go risk 1% to make 2%, big difference, right? Instead of risking 0.5%, you're only risking 1%. So the amount needed in your trading account now is 446,827.52, not even a car nowadays, okay, to make 50,000 Rand a month. If we do more extra trades, does that affect the calculation positively? Christo, the more stats you have, the bigger the sample, the closer it is to the consensus. You need to understand that in statistics, the bigger the sample, the closer it is to the consensus, the more likely it is to work out in the future. So one of my clients said, why don't you just use the last 12 months? Won't it be more accurate in terms of a year versus 16 months, which is random? And I say, no, you need as much stats as you can get. Why? Because you're incorporating all the market environments. You're incorporating all of the potential trades that you could get, and you're incorporating what you have already done to potentially indicate a potential future. It's not a guaranteed future, but it is a more likelihood future when you have more stats, more trades, okay? But in saying that, make sure you are dealing with apples and apples. So if you're going to do shares and Forex and JC and medium probability trades all into this calculator, I don't think that is a good idea. I would compartmentalize it into Forex only. You can use those stats and throw them in or whatever you want. And also, if you want help, I am helping my Supreme Multi traders and a few VIP premium traders to set up their charts. I know there are a few people here that I've set up the charts and it looks like multi-trader. Are you enjoying the fact that your charts look like multi-trader? Yes or no? Dorothy, yes, I helped you today. I'm glad. That is the point with Supreme Multi-Trader, for you to actually make it in this world with trading. All right.